Well, good evening, good evening, good evening, next level. Welcome, 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 welcome. Y'all come on and join in and hop in. I want to welcome those of you all who are already in, those of you all who will be coming in, those of you all who will be going back and looking at the broadcast again. I want to welcome you all and thank you all for coming in and being a part of Next Level on tonight. I pray that you've had an awesome day, and I want you to know that I'm appreciative of the fact that you join Next Level, you're part of Next Level. Some of you are part of Next Level every week, and I'm grateful for it. I thank God for you. I say this all the time. I never ever want to feel like somebody's required or I'm forcing you, but I just thank God that this is something you want. And even on tonight, as we always do, let's push that like button and let's do our best to try to push the share button. I just want people to hear and know that there is a next level inside of them. And I want you to put that on the screen. There's a next level in me. There's another gear inside of me. I know that I can do more, and I know that I am going to do more, and I just believe that that's what next level is about. Next level is just, it is what it is, and it is about really just trying to convince every week, week after week. I've been doing this for years now, and it's really just getting people to believe in themselves. I want you to put this on the screen tonight. I believe in me. It's really about getting you to believe in yourself. It took a lot, and sometimes for some people that you're there, but it takes a lot to get to that point where you just believe that you can do it. I'm here to tell you, pastoring a church, doing next level, doing the things I do, you just don't wake up and just feel like you can. But it takes something on the inside of you to believe I can do this. And I want to put that in your spirit tonight. Get all my gadgets together. Just put that in your spirit tonight that whatever it is that God have put in you to do, you can do it. And there's more in you. Somebody put on, there's more in me. There's more in me, and I can do it. So I just ask God to be with us on tonight and just guide us and lead us through our broadcast on tonight. Um, I've been doing this. This is week 4, but I've been talking about the same thing all this month, and it's simply getting to your next level. And I want you to just put this on the screen. I'm going to my next level, and I'm excited about my next level. Um, and I've been doing this for 3 weeks, and I've been talking about getting to that next level, and I've really been pushing that. Next level is not about wishful thinking. It requires you to be able to grab those tools that you really need to get you to where you need to be. I think a lot of times the reason why sometimes we don't get things done is simply because of wishful thinking. Sometimes we think it's just gonna come to us. Sometimes we think it's just gonna pop up and it's gonna happen. And you need the tools that you need for it to happen. It's not just gonna, be something that just comes to you. Even when it comes to you, you got to do your part to get there. Somebody say this tonight, say, I'm doing my part. And what I realize, and the reason why I love doing this week after week, because this is just a tool I'm giving you as it relates to next level thinking. But I realize that the greater the tool, um, the greater the ability that I have to build what I'm trying to build. If I have what I need, I have a better chance of getting what to where I'm trying to go if I have what I need. I can say this for many of us. What if you had everything you need? Everything you needed right now, wouldn't life be so much better? And so what we don't understand sometimes is that God has really given us what we need and the tools that we need to do it, and we just got to start tapping into it. So somebody say tonight I'm tapping in. Tonight I'm tapping in. So learning, how do we tap in? We learn to be self-sufficient, self-awareness, self-discipline. We learn self-motivation, self-determination. We learn self-respect. All of these things that we've gone over the past few weeks is these are things that we need, and the greater And the more, I'm sorry, the more that we understand that, and the more we have access to it, the greater my chances are of making it. I think that it's time now to level the playing field, because you need tools to build your life. We need certain things, and we look down upon people that sometimes they're not where they are. Sometimes people are not where they are because they don't have what they need. My church has had to go through some stages and some periods of getting there, but the reason why I didn't get certain things, and don't have certain things even in my ministry right now, is because I don't have what I need to get them. They're coming, and I just got to keep building and working on the tools to do what we need to do. And so tonight, as we continue the series on next level thinking, I want to pick up where we left off last week as the requirements. What do I need, and what will I need that's going to help me get to my next level? And the first thing that we want to talk about tonight is, if you're going to get to that next level, you need continued commitment. Everybody put this on the screen. Continued commitment. Um, Not just commitment periodically, not just commitment every now and then, but continued commitment. And commitment is just a decision to promise, you made up your mind that you're going to stick with whatever it is that you're doing. You're not going to get mad and quit, and you're not committed until you get tired. You're not committed until something go wrong, but you're going to continue to do it. Why? Because you make up your mind and keep doing it. Somebody put this on the screen. I'm going to keep going. Continued commitment is not, you know, that I'm going to get frustrated or aggravated and then stop. Continued commitment is, no matter how frustrated, no matter how aggravated, even in continued commitment, no matter what I got to learn. Because, see, sometimes what hinders us from getting to that next level is we ain't willing to learn more and do more of certain things. And when you want to stay committed to something, you got to keep evolving. You got to keep growing. Somebody put this on the screen. You got to keep growing. But you got to continue at it. Somebody put this on the screen. You got to stay at it. You got to stay at it. What I see a lot of is, there are people that are committed to a certain point. There are people that are committed to it comes to a point that they can't even see their way. And I'm here to tell you, I ain't preaching to you tonight, but when you make up your mind you're gonna do something, sometimes it ain't always about seeing your way. Let me tell you something. I haven't always known how I was gonna make it, but I did know I was gonna make it. I haven't always known how things were gonna work out. I just knew that they were gonna work out. And that continued commitment is my way of saying that no matter what happens, I'm going to stay with whatever God is putting me to do, or whatever I believe that I want to do. And so you got to you got to get your pen and paper back out. You got to start back filling out the paperwork. You got to start back making up your mind that whatever it is, your decision is made, and I'm sticking with it. Somebody say this tonight. Say, I'm gonna stay with it. I'm gonna stay with it. I'm gonna stay with, even if it's leadership, I'm gonna stay with it. If it's marriage, I'm gonna stay with it. If it's business, I'm gonna stay with it. Whatever it is, I'm going to continue and remain committed to it. Somebody put this on the screen. Just stay committed to it. Just stay committed to it. Hear me tonight. Just stay committed to it. That's a tool that you can use. Continue commitment. The second tool that we're gonna deal with tonight is, watch this, dedication. If you're gonna get to the next level, it's gonna require your dedication. Now, hear me. Dedication and commitment are not the same thing. They different, because when you deal with commitment, you're dealing with a decision. You're dealing with a promise to stick with something. When you're dealing with dedication, you're dealing with the passion to do it, the effort, which means that commitment is in the mind. Decision is the work. Commitment is, I made up my mind to do it. Dedication is, now I'm going to do it. And I think sometimes they go hand in hand, because You gotta remain committed, but you gotta be dedicated at the same time because you gotta put the work in. Somebody put this on the screen. I gotta put the work in. I gotta be willing to put the work in to what I need to be doing. I gotta put the work in to what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like last week I talked about self-determination. Somebody put this on the screen, self-determination. And self-determination is really deeper than motivation because it involves the choice to commit it, to stay committed. So when I become self-determination, I made a choice. I chose to remain committed. And in that self-determination, I chose to be dedicated. So I'm choosing to remain dedicated to what I'm working on. I'm not just going to be doing something just to be doing it, but I'm dedicated to the result of what I'm working on. I want you to put this on the screen tonight. I want results. That's all I want. I've worked and working and still working to revamp next level. Why? Because I want results. I pastor. I want results. I just don't want to be spinning my wheels. Whatever I'm dedicated to, I want results. I want to be able to for this thing that I'm working on to come to pass. Whatever it is that you're working on, don't you want to see it happen? Come on, somebody say this tonight. Say, I want to see it happen. I want to see it happen. I want to see myself in a space and a place that I just believe God's gonna do it for me. Come on, somebody say, I want to see it happen. I want to see things get better for me. I want to see things work out for me. I want to see opportunities and doors open for me. And I can't do it if I quit. I want to say this to you tonight. If you quit, you'll never see it. If you give up, you'll never know. You may have to try something different, but try something. Do y'all hear me tonight? You may have to do something different, but do something. But whatever you do, don't quit. Cause you'll never know. I would have if there were times, and I'm talking about years and days sometimes that this just ain't for me. I just, maybe I miss God. Somebody may be thinking that maybe I miss God. If you quit, you'll never see the result. And you put so much effort into it. And sometimes starting over don't mean you quit. It just means you started over. But whatever you do, don't just quit. It ain't nothing wrong with starting over. It ain't nothing wrong with revamping. It ain't nothing wrong with redoing it. Just don't quit. You know what I'm saying? Setbacks are just setups. And as you work to get to that next level, as you push yourself and you try to get to that next level, you gotta stay dedicated to it. That's the decision that you gotta make. You gotta in the mind. You gotta first make up your mind. I'm gonna do it. Somebody say this and I say, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it with help or without, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because I believe I can. I'm gonna do it because it's in me to do it. Come on, everybody can't do what you do, but put on the screen, say it's in me to do this. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna buy the house. I'm gonna work get things worked out. I'm gonna get out of this debt. I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna write this book. I'm gonna write this song. Whatever it is, I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna stay dedicated in doing it because I believe I can. Come on, somebody say, I believe I can. I believe I can do it. So guess what? I'm gonna do it. So I'm committed. I'm dedicated. And the last one, and you say the best for last. If you're gonna get to this next level, it's gonna require you being responsible. You gotta be responsible. You cannot just mishandle and mismanage your life. Remember, you gotta be responsible. Hear me tonight. When you talk about when you talk about being responsible, and somebody wrote this today, and I'm gonna pull this up. Somebody wrote this today about being responsible, and when you talk about being responsible, a lot of people don't understand that that's on you. Being responsible. And somebody said this. It means to take accountability for your actions and your decisions. So if I'm gonna be responsible, I ain't blaming somebody else when it don't go wrong. when it don't go right. You know, responsible means I'm gonna do what's expected of me to do. Come on, somebody put this on screen. I'm doing what's expected of me to do. If I'm gonna be a leader, I'm gonna be responsible. If I'm gonna be a husband, I'm gonna be responsible. You're gonna be a wife, you're gonna be responsible. If I'm given an assignment, I'm gonna do what's expected of me to do. Somebody put this on the screen. Say no more excuses. I'm gonna take thoughtful, careful. I'm gonna make thoughtful and careful choices. Say it like that. I'm gonna really take my time in what I'm doing. And if things somehow go wrong, if it don't go the way I want it to go, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna accept the consequences of my actions. That's what a lot of times, sometimes we just can get it wrong. Sometimes we can do it wrong. Sometimes it can go wrong. Sometimes we just didn't say it right. We just didn't get it right. We didn't hit the nail on the head. Come on, somebody, and I just be honest. Sometimes it was your fault. That situation was on you. You didn't have to say it. You didn't have to tell that person's business. You didn't you got upset, but come on, you didn't have to get that upset. And you probably sometimes, honestly, sometimes you don't mean it, but you didn't have to do it. Now be responsible enough to say, hey, this on me. Somebody put this on the screen tonight. Sometimes it's on me. Sometimes it's just honestly, it's on me. I didn't, I could have paid it, but I went out of town. I could have took care of it, but I did something else with it. I didn't always make the right decisions. I didn't listen sometimes. And you need to be responsible enough to say, I didn't listen. I can still tell Bishop Smith, who literally raised me in ministry. I can still look at him sometimes and say, man, if I had listened. See, the older you get, the more responsible you ought to become. Because responsibility, and when you become a responsible person, it just means you're maturing. And when you see people that just not into being responsible, it's because they immature. They don't like to take accountability for their own actions. So what does it mean to be responsible? Keep your word. Somebody put this on the screen. Keep your word. Don't be the person that says one thing and do something else and can't nobody. You'll never get to the next level because nobody believes in you. Nobody believes that you're going to do it because you're not somebody who keeps their word. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be responsible. Make the right decisions. Come on, make the right. Somebody put us say, make the right decisions. Make the right decision. If you want people to take you serious, be a serious person. Stop always just finding that always trying to skim by. Always just trying to do enough to get by. Come on, somebody, always trying to be slick. Always thinking that somebody is just ignorant to our behavior. You got to say to yourself, I got to make the right decision. I gotta be the person that makes good decisions. I gotta be dependable. Come on, somebody put this on the screen. Say, you can count on me. You can count on me. I'm gonna be in your corner. I ain't always looking for people to be there for me. Sometimes you gotta learn how to be reliable to other people. People need to know that if need be, I ain't saying all the time, but people need to know I can lean on this person. That's what it means to be responsible about shifting to that next level is when people just feel like, man, I got a friend. Don't be the friend that, you hear people talking and saying things and then you go tell their business or you go tell y'all business. Don't be that. I've been cut. Thank you, Lord. I've been cut so many times, not by my own actions, but by the actions of people that just ain't dependable. You just can't trust them. They can't hold water. You don't want to be that person that every time something happens, it's attached to your name. And I mean something bad, something messy, something, some people, again, we toot our own horns, we give ourselves a whole lot of credit, but some people just don't deal with you because you ain't dependable. I want my children to at least believe my dad got my back. I want my friends to believe, you know, Dier got my back. I sure want my wife to believe I can depend on my husband. And I'm not and sometimes it ain't got to be nothing big. Sometimes last night when I was in Douglasville, there was a person that was upset with the person that was bringing them to a class, and they supposed to be in the class at 6:30, and they didn't get there to like almost 6:50. And I was like, it's okay. Boy, the problem that they had was the person that was bringing them, you know, made them feel like I can get you here on time. And when they got in the car, the person made them feel like, well, it ain't my fault you in the shape you in. You right, it ain't your fault. But if you gonna help me, doggone it, help me. And if you ain't gonna help me, then don't hurt me. If I'm trying to say, Bishop, you talking to me tonight. If you gonna be there, be there. It don't matter how I got here, but if you committed yourself to helping me get through it, then I'm counting on you, and I need you to be dependable. I need to be able to know that you are a responsible person. See, sometimes we get involved, and we don't want to really be dependable. Some of you all are leaders in y'all churches. Your pastor need to know they can count on you. They can just count. You gonna be there. You gonna show up. You ain't just lip service. You gonna do what you said you gonna do. That's a dependable person, somebody who does what they say they're going to do. And all of that comes with being responsible. You going to do what you said you're going to do. I got to let this go. And then you got to be able to manage your resources wisely. You got to be able to handle your responsibilities. You can't always assume or think that other people always got to bail you out. See, a lot of times people, you get to a point where you stop helping because people don't manage their resources wisely. You mismanage what's yours, and then you wonder why you go through what you go through. But if you just manage your resources wisely, if you pay your bills like you're supposed to, you know, if you in church, pay your tithes, do the things that you're supposed to do. Manage it wisely. What God put in your hands to do, He didn't put it in everybody else's hands. And you can't expect everybody to manage what God gave you. I try my best to manage next level thinking in a wise manner. I try to pastor the church in a wise manner. I try to give sons and daughters and those who I may be some part of their life, spiritual sons, spiritual daughters, mentors, my own children, my family. I try to at least manage my resources wisely when it comes to them. I don't want to be, First Lady, an irresponsible husband. I don't want it to be all on my wife, all on my friends, all on everybody else. And that don't mean that I ain't gonna have some hard times. But my hard times shouldn't come from just me mismanaging what God gave me. See, some people, they going through, now they ain't making enough money, and the economy and different things. This ain't the time to be out here just mishandling what you already got, because it's hard enough to keep what you got. Come on, somebody say, Bishop, you talking to me. And everybody can't always help you because they're trying to help themselves. So it's so unfair when you don't do what you're supposed to do, and then somebody got to come help you out because you didn't handle your own business. Come on, somebody put this on the screen. Handle your business. Do what you're supposed to do. and do it in such a responsible way that when people come to help you, it's because they know you need help. I don't need nobody to always bail me out. Because sometimes people don't need a handout, they just need a hand. And don't be the person that always need a handout. You got to manage what you have wisely. If you want to get to that next level, you got to take, if you faithful over a few things, God then makes you ruler over much, not man. God gives you that. God adds increase. God adds elevation. God, how you gonna ask God to give you more and you ain't doing what you're supposed to do with what you got? So if you're gonna, shift and transition to that next level, then you got to have continued commitment. Everybody say continued commitment. Then you got to have that dedication, and you got to be responsible. You got to be a person that understands responsibility. If this is a part of my responsibility, I need to do it. If this is what I'm supposed to be doing, I need to do it. As we close out tonight, I just ask God that responsible part, even as we prepare to sow our seeds tonight. I promise you this. Whatever you give to next level, I don't mismanage that. I've never mismanaged money in my church. I've never just told somebody to give me something or asked people to do something, and I'm not responsible enough to take care of whatever I need to take care of. I have people tonight that honestly, community or whatever it is, even next level, things that we still have to pay for. And it comes by way of you all giving. It really does. And sometimes, I get off and sometimes people are always sowing into next level. But sometimes some people listen, but they never give. That's that person's decision, what they choose to do and what they choose not to do. But I promise you, if you sow into next level, I promise you to be responsible. That's why next level has been able to stay in existence, to keep moving with the time, to cameras and lighting and posters and all of the things that come with, next level, buying, purchasing, paying bills, is because I've always tried to be responsible. I've always tried to continue the commitment that I made. I've always tried to be dedicated. And I've always tried to be and act in a responsible way. And if you can't do that, there ain't gonna never be a next level. And you got to say to yourself, say, there's a next level for me. And so even tonight, I praise God for those of you all who sold. And it takes a level of responsibility to even give. Some people can't never give is because they don't manage right. They'll never have anything to give, but they always take because they don't manage right. So I praise God for those of you all who sow into next level. And I pray that you would consider it. And I pray that as you do it, that not only does God bless you, I really mean that from my heart, but I really want you to be able to know that we're responsible. And I want you to leave with that thought. I'm being responsible. If you're going to sow responsibly and just trust God. Even whatever you give, you trust God for it because God is reliable. You can count on him when you give. But most importantly, that the places that we sow into, that we're blessed from that because the places and the people that we sow into are responsible. And so that's my thing tonight. And I really thank God for you all. And I want you to just leave saying, this really blessed me tonight. If it blessed you, if it helped you, and if do so, sow this seed into somebody else who may need to hear this. A little over my time, but I just wanted you all to get that. So plant this seed into somebody else by way of sharing. And if it's anything that I can do better, or if it's a class you may want me to teach on, just shoot me a message, shoot me an email or whatever. But I really praise God for you all, and I thank God for you all tonight. And thank you for your seeds, and I ask God that God would just bless it. All right? Love you all. See you all next Tuesday. God bless you.